I haven't spoken about gun violence in education since January, when Donald Trump said to the people in Iowa, you need to get over the fact that a child just died and a teacher died. And it was 8 or 9 people were wounded, and obviously the assailant that had killed everyone. We have a very large problem in our society with the amount of weapons. There are more weapons than people in the United States, and the ease at which people can get firearms. I live in the state of Florida. Ron DeSantis last year, at 11 o'clock at night, signed into law an open carry. Because, adding more guns to Florida is a good idea. I taught in the state from 98 to 2020. And I did pickup duty. And we used to worry what's going to happen when someone's not paying attention, when someone pick up a gun and shoot at someone for hitting their child or bumping into them or anything else. Well, that's here. We had 2 fathers shooting at each other because one cut the other off, both hit each other's daughters. Guns are not the answer. And then you have education. Parkland happened here. You had what happened in Uvalde. And what occurs time and time again is you hear that things didn't go according to plan and no one seemed to be planning. Well, as an educator, and in a state where there are 7,000 teaching positions open, and I'm not walking into a classroom unless I'm starting from the beginning of the year, you have to be prepared to take each one of your classes through the process of preparing for class defense. Now, I had cups similar to this. They were a little bit smaller because I had middle school kids. This right now has 32 ounces of liquid in it. And if you throw it at someone, you can knock them out. I had 20 of these in my classroom. The idea being, if an assailant comes in with a gun, my students who are going to be already behind desks, because that's how we practiced, were hurling this or things like this at the bad guy with a gun. I was at the door with a catcher's face mask. I had my chest plate and a baseball bat. And I'm standing by the door, prepared to put my life in front of your children's. Now, when I go back in, I'm going to do a GoFundMe for book bags. And I'm going to get remainder books. If children are wearing book bags in front of them that have remainder books that are taped together, those books can help stop or slow down 5.56 rounds or rounds that are smaller than that. They can help save lives. I'm going to make sure I have a book bag for every child that's in my classroom. And that's a wide range. The first year I taught in Florida in 1998, I had a class of 13 and I had a class of 39. So you have to allocate for that. And then you practice. I would practice with my students each class, and in middle school it's 5 classes that you have out of 6. In high school I had 8 classes sometimes, I had 6 classes, I had 7 classes. You practice with them. Because the idea is, if you practice for this and it happens, they're prepared. If you don't practice for this and it happens, you have Uvalde. This is also part of the equation coming up in this election. My first point that I'm voting for is women's rights, retirement, and then education. And I'm willing to go back in and stand by that door to be the shield for your children. I want that to be less and less likely. Please remember to vote true and blue. Our society needs teachers. Our society needs children that don't have trauma from watching their classmates killed arbitrarily by psychotic people, when we have the money to fix the mental health problems and we don't. Every time it comes up, the GOP votes against that too, as well as education. And please don't forget that 160 members of the GOP voted against the Department of Education that provides $8,000 of the $11,000 to the state of Florida for each child for them to be educated. They can't govern. and they only want to destroy our society. Please remember to vote true and blue.